When most buildings get older, they change. Some are replaced, some fade quietly into the background. But occasionally there's a place that does something different. It stays. Not because it was easy, but because the people around it decided it was worth keeping. This is Eagle River, Wisconsin, and this isn't just a rink. It was raised during the Great Depression. It weathered lean years and long winters. More than once it stood at a crossroads, and each time the answer was the same. People showed up, they signed their names, they took responsibility, and they carried it forward. Inside these walls, generations found a place to gather, to compete, to belong, and it's still here because the community kept choosing it. Welcome to the Dome. When you think of Wisconsin, hockey might not be the first thing that comes to mind. But if you drive just 2 miles east of Eagle River along Highway 70, you'll come across something that reshapes that idea. Set back on 5 acres of land sits a building that feels both timeless and alive. This is the Eagle River Sports Arena, and everything about it tells you one thing right away. This place was built by people who believed in what they were doing. Hockey in Eagle River didn't begin under a roof. It began outside. In 1926, players took to a rough outdoor rink with boards barely 2 feet high. No glass, no shelter, just cold air, frozen fingers, and a local team known as the Iceland Wasps. People started to gather. They leaned against the boards. They stayed longer than they planned. One of them was Charles Taylor. Taylor was a businessman, the owner of the Jack-o'-lantern Resort, and he understood something important. A community and a resort needed more than scenery. It needed activity, energy, a reason to come together when winter set in. When Taylor watched the team play, he didn't just see a game, he saw potential. So he made them an offer. If he built a better rink on Taylor Lake just behind his resort, would they play for him? To make it worthwhile at a time when players had very little, he also promised new equipment and matching jerseys. So of course, they agreed. Taylor built a regulation-sized rink with lights, full boards, and the Jack-o'-lantern hockey team took shape. He raised the level even further by bringing in professional and semi-professional players. The results came quickly. In the seasons that followed, the team won the Wisconsin State Championship, hosted right here on Taylor Lake. That success proved something important. Hockey could bring people to Eagle River. It could be an anchor in winter life here. That realization led to a bigger idea, an indoor arena. Taylor brought the proposal forward, and the community rallied behind it. To build it, they needed to raise $25,000, and in the middle of the Great Depression, that was a bold goal. So the town did what it had to do. People bought shares for $25 each. Others traded labor for equal value. Some gave money, some gave time, but everyone had a stake. Taylor donated 5 acres of land and personally purchased $12,500 worth of shares. The rest came together piece by piece. Ground was broken in November of 1932. It was actually blasted because the ground was frozen solid. Taylor wanted construction to happen in winter because that's when the people were available. The arena was designed by Max Janisch, a German-trained architect who understood how to create a wide-open space with simple materials. He used the lamella truss system, short wooden segments bolted together into a diamond pattern that spread strength in every direction. No posts, no obstructions, just space. When the Eagle River Stadium was completed in September of 1933, it became the first purpose-built indoor hockey arena in the state of Wisconsin, built largely by volunteers alongside skilled trades. But the first event inside wasn't hockey, it was boxing. More than 1,200 people packed in to watch local fighter Frankie Knauer At the time, it was the largest indoor crowd Eagle River had ever seen. From that moment on, the building became everything its builders hoped for. It hosted hockey, boxing, roller skating, circuses, community gatherings. Like many arenas of its era, it was designed to be flexible, a place for people to come together. Winter activity grew around it. Toboggan slides were built behind the arena, dropping nearly 90 feet toward Taylor Lake. One run became known as Ash Can Alley, where kids rode garbage can lids like sleds. Taylor once imagined Eagle River as the Lake Placid of the Midwest. For a time, that dream felt within reach. Then, war came. World War II paused hockey across the country. Money grew tight, and in 1944, the stadium was sold for back taxes. When Taylor learned that the new owner intended to tear it down and sell it for lumber, he stepped in. That wasn't an option. He bought it back, not to profit, not to remake it, but because it mattered. Hockey returned in 1947, and the arena was alive again. The sound of skates replaced quiet, and even youth hockey began to grow. Kids weren't just watching anymore. They were lacing up and stepping out onto the ice. People like Marge Wachowski patiently taught children how to skate, also helping inspire the Silver Blades Ice Show. Another, Gene Richter, coached teams and pushed tirelessly for the growth of youth hockey in Eagle River. The rink became a place where kids grew up, and the ERRA assumed the lease of the building. Saturday mornings brought early games, and teams made up of kids wearing little more than matching sweaters, but they were playing, and that was enough. In the early 1960s, the building faced another moment of uncertainty. Ownership had moved to Chicago, maintenance lagged, and the future was unclear. Once again, local leaders stepped forward. Among them was Charles Spies, known as Mr. Eagle River, and Dr. Tom Doyle. They convinced the owners to sell the arena back to the community for the original construction cost of $25,000. But there was one problem. They had just one day to raise the funds, and they had no money. So they divided the town into sections, going door to door, asking residents to sign unsecured notes, personal promises that said, "I'll stand behind this." The bank accepted them, and before 3 o'clock that afternoon, the check was in the mail. With local ownership restored, the work continued. Over the decades, systems were improved, refrigeration was modernized, lighting was upgraded, concrete was repaired, accessibility was expanded. Always with care, always with respect for what made this building special. New generations learned to skate here, often without realizing how rare a place like this truly is. In 1983, the Wisconsin Hockey Hall of Fame chose this building as its home, not just for what it represents, but because the building itself is a part of the story. And in 1994, it was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Those honors mattered, but they were never the goal. What's kept this building alive has never been its unique design. It's been people. When the dome was first built, the community came together. They bought shares, they gave labor, they gave what they could. That's how this place came to life. Years later, when it was nearly lost, people answered the call again and saved it. Today the challenge is different, but the responsibility is the same. The ice plant that supports every skate stride, every youth practice, every late night game needs to be replaced. It's a $1.2 million project, and once again, this building is asking its people to step up. No one is being asked to do this alone, just to do their part. By donating, you're not just fixing ice. You're protecting a home for skaters. You're honoring those who came before you by carrying their work forward. This building still stands because people decided it mattered, and it will only keep standing if people decide that again. If the dome has ever meant anything to you, this is your chance to be a part of its history.